4,000 crores rupees were they came to, via bonds in 23-24. 90% of it has come, 1 crore each bond.
95%. It's quite possible that, we are thinking Adani ka naam aayega, Ambani ka aayega. Nothing of that sort will come.
Now, you guys had filed this case in 2017 and it took 6 years for this. Why it has got delayed for so long?
It depends on the people manning the post. If the guy who heard the thing for the first time became a Rajya Sabha MP later on.
I would say that there is a connection between this electoral bonds and the farmers' protests. Both are pointing towards the structural crisis this country has. A deep structural crisis this country has gone into.
And if you look at their demand, so MSP is one headline demand, but increase work from 100 to 200 days in NREGA, guarantee, waive off all farm loans. It has agrarian distress written all over it.
The layers of barricades, the spikes on the road, the sort of police deployment. The Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi is saying, no, we'll not set up a temporary jail in a stadium. Then testing drones to sort of drop tear gas. This is very dystopian stuff. And this entire David versus Goliath. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated Abu Dhabi's first traditional Hindu temple on Feb 14th.
And I really like that all our usual suspects from Times Now and Aaj Tak were there, and they were like, this is secularism. In an Islamic nation, you have Hindus and Muslims coming together to build a temple. It's like उनको UAE जाना पड़ा है to learn secularism where there's not even like equal rights to minorities. And in fact, in Haldwani, what was most striking was they had stationed cops outside each victim's family.
Yeah,
so you can't meet the family that, the people who lost their lives. Like 6 people died, I think, in the violence.
Yeah. There are 15 cops per house.
Who have lost
stationed at their doorstep.
My God, this is shocking. Welcome to Chota Hafta. Now, Chota Hafta is but a small, Chota version of a complete weekly podcast, Newslaundry Hafta. The Newslaundry Hafta is where you get the week's news, what made the headlines, what didn't make the headlines, but the full version is available to subscribers only. And I don't mean YouTube subscribers, although YouTube subscribers are also very welcome, we're very grateful to you, but also to Newslaundry subscribers, the paying subscribers who pay to keep news free. So you can also become a paying subscriber by clicking the subscription link. Now, what do you get if you're a paying subscriber? You get access to all our paywall content, all interviews, podcasts, and importantly, you get access to a full unedited Hafta, where you not only get to hear the week's news, but you get to hear the Newslaundry editors' positions on matters. You get to see their biases, what are their prejudices. It's an exercise in transparency while also informing you, and we have a few quips and jokes and agreements and disagreements thrown in. So listen to the full Hafta, subscribe to Newslaundry, and pay to keep news free. Here we go. अंग्रेज अपना लगान और न्यूज़लॉन्ड्री अपना हफ्ता कभी नहीं छोड़ते. Welcome to the 472nd episode of Hafta. Every week for the last 472 weeks we have come to you, not missing a single week. That's quite a record, huh? We're recording this on the 15th of February, Thursday at 3 p.m. One day after Valentine's Day. Those of you who did celebrate, I hope you had a good Valentine's Day.
And a good Basant Panchami.
Before I introduce our guests today, I'd just like to plug our new Newslaundry Sena Modi 2.0 report card. This is a Sena project. The Bharatiya Janata Party is about to complete 10 years. Upcoming general election, PM Modi will be asking for a third term. What does the data say on implementation of all the schemes that he is going to be talking about? This Sena project will be a full deep dive into these schemes, a kind of an audit, and hopefully it will be the most definitive report of how the welfare schemes have performed in the Modi years. And since, we don't take any advertising from anyone, we run completely on subscriber revenue. So do subscribe and contribute to the Sena project so that we can do a good job with reportage. We have a wonderful panel today with lots of area experts. Let me start with people who are in the studio. From left to right, our managing editor, Manisha Pande.
Hi.
Our editor-in-chief, Raman Kirpal.
Hello.
Our wonderful correspondent is here who was in Haldwani till, not too long ago, Sumedha. So we will hear firsthand what happened in Haldwani. And joining us from Zoom, from her hometown of Chennai, is our wonderful
colleague Jayashree. Welcome, Jayashree.
Hello, hello.
And joining us is Major General Anil Verma. He is the head of the Association for Democratic Reform and was a litigant in the electoral bonds case heard in the Supreme Court, which was today the judgment came, and I'm sure everyone has been listening about this by the time this goes on.
So basically, see, we had said that this is against Article 19A of the Constitution. We, as a common man, a citizen, a voter, we have a right to know. So this was a big thing, the right to information thing, which the Supreme Court has fortunately upheld. And they have said that it is the right of a common man to know where is the political funding coming from. They have said that all the details of the money donations via electoral bonds from April 2019 to date will be submitted by the State Bank of India to the Election Commission of India, which will put it on their website. Now, that is a great thing.
28,030 electoral bonds worth 16,518.1099 crore have been sold from March 2018 to January 2024. This financial year, corporate and business houses, the biggest donors to national parties, contributing 650 crores, which is 80% of the donations. Individuals contributed 166 crores, while undeclared donors contributed 2.4 crores. And the main contributor for the BJP was Prudent Electoral Trust. This has all come in the last couple of hours. Now, I don't know if this data has been, dumped out immediately. Maybe by the end of Hafta, we'll know how much of this is there. But a few, like Congress received 45 crores from Messrs. MKJ Enterprise and Nuvoca Vistas Corporation. I don't know what these companies, I've never heard of them. They have a lot of money. So if the employees of this company are listening, maybe you should subscribe to Newslaundry. It'll be more beneficial than giving to political parties.
You see, initially when it was introduced and they asked for comments, the Election Commission gave this thing against the electoral bond scheme. The RBI cautioned against the electoral bond scheme because they said that all types of funding can come in this case, from abroad also, and shell companies, and black money can be converted to why. All this was given in writing to the government by the RBI and the Election Commission. But you see, that time we had different sort of people manning these institutions who all subsequently left, and then a different breed came. Initially, some opposition parties were against this scheme, but later on, as the scheme rolled out, and of course, the biggest beneficiary is the central government ruling party. Slowly, we noticed that all the other parties, which are the regional parties, which are in power in the states, they also started getting money through electoral bonds. So everybody was happy. It was a win-win situation for any party, which is...
AM Jigeesh is an agricultural journalist based in New Delhi. He is currently the deputy editor of The Hindu. He is also General Secretary of Delhi Union of Journalists. He will tell us a little more about the farmers' protests that was in the headlines. And he really sneaked into the studio like the farmers are trying to sneak into Delhi. Oh no!
Although we have no nails or barricades or bulldozers stopping him.
Or drones.
We do, but Jigeesh is an expert, and he rolled with the grenades and made it in. Welcome, Jigeesh.
So, MSP, for example, minimum support price, is maybe a mixed economy idea. So, can a mixed economy idea work in a completely neoliberal, fascistic economy? That is the question now farmers are also seeking to answer. So, when we have a global crisis, the country's government is allowing a handful of corporate companies to have
oligopoly on the food.
Yeah, oligarchies are thriving with this business. People say wheat is the new oil.
And if you look at their demand, so MSP is one headline demand, but increase work from 100 to 200 days in NREGA, guarantee, waive off all farm loans. It has agrarian distress written all over it. And we know this from data that farm incomes have stagnated over the past decade. In some cases, been reduced, if not stagnated. So there is a real issue of farm distress, which needs to be addressed. And I think the modus for the government seems to be, one, unleash your media, which just kind of says Khalistanis or they are,
Although this time they're not using Khalistani, but they're trying other
or they're
tropes.
rich farmers, from Punjab. They've been fattened on easy money. They don't know what they're asking for. And the second thing is like appalling way in which we're stopping people from simply coming to Delhi and protesting. I mean, that is just their right.
I think the central government invoked powers under the Telegraph Act, which is from
British.
1886 to suspend mobile internet in Punjab. And this is the first time I think that the union government has done so outside of the national capital. Because otherwise law and order is a state subject. So orders are typically issued by state government. So in Haryana, the state government issued orders to suspend the internet. But because the AAP is in power in Punjab, the central government did so.
I was watching yesterday while our reporters on the farmer protest site, and there was pandemonium with drones dropping, what are they called? Tear gas shells.
For the first time in the history.
At that time, on all the channels, and I mean all the channels, English and Hindi channels, we were showing the speech of Prime Minister Modi in UAE, him inaugurating that temple. And it was the most banal stuff he was saying. There was nothing significant. It was his same nasal tone. Main itna grand hu, tum log, whatever it is. So, at that time, what was happening there was absolute pandemonium. The kind of, the structures, they have pretty much dug up roads and not dug them up by 2 feet. They've dug them into like 15 feet pits. Because 2 feet pits, they will, because these guys are also extremely resourceful.
The craziest shot was of them pulling down drones with kites.
Yeah.
That was
which I thought was...
I mean, so I saw the wall-to-wall coverage of the Abu Dhabi thing yesterday. And the thing is that I feel the state of the media now is that Modi doesn't even have to give a speech. He can tweet something and there will be coverage about it on news channels.
2021, when this farmers' protests were withdrawn, the government made certain promises that one, these 3 farm laws will be withdrawn. Second, we will make a committee where this MSP law can be, the feasibility of MSP law can be studied. Secondly, this issue of murder, daylight murder
in
Lakhimpur Kheri for farmers and 1 journalist. And removal of Mr. Mishra from the Council of Ministers. All these things the government at that point, and withdrawing all cases, including some murder cases, filed against the farmer leaders, will be withdrawn. But nothing of this sort has happened. But at that point, it was just the basic demand was withdrawal of these 3 farm laws. But now it has gone beyond.
One thing, since you did mention what the last time's their demands, one of them was that there should be action or process of trial against the... He was a Minister of State for Home, son,
he is still.
So, Ashish Mishra is his name, and I remember reading this just 3 days ago. His bail has been extended by the Supreme Court. This is, meanwhile...
It's a technical reason.
Meanwhile, Umar Khalid has had to withdraw his bail petition. But I believe Mr. Modi doesn't understand many things. But the one thing he definitely understands is media. His understanding of media is phenomenal. He has understood that this could be the Jan Lokpal moment for NDA.
We've seen some very ugly scenes unfold at the border yesterday where one ABP guy was roughed up. And an ANI cameraman was really severely beaten up, has a fracture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right arm fractured, got a head injury. And these are farmers again angry and they're just like everyone's Godi media to them, whoever's not agreeing. But you got to also understand the repercussions of everything that these guys are doing in the studio. It's created such a vitiated atmosphere that journalists who are reporting, an ANI cameraman,
he's just doing his job.
He's just doing his job.
Absolutely, I agree with you. People like the Arnabs and the Puris and the Jains, the owners, they have to take the onus of them shitting over journalism.
Yeah.
They will. It is not like Mr. Jain or Mr. Arun Puri is going to go in the middle of the farmer. His reporter is going to go and take the shit.
Now, what is happening? I saw, Express editorial also, which is talking of, if the government legalizes the MRP, it is going to bring fiscal deficit. Now, you are doing so many other things. You are the freebies that you come up with, that is not causing fiscal deficit. But this certainly, the legalizing MSP is going to...
When you went to Haldwani, one is what apparently happened was that people of the Muslim community in their locality, there was a mosque that was raised and a madrasa that was joined, right?
Yeah.
The initial claims, now I don't know who has taken credit for these claims, were that this is as per a court order.
The big problem was that I don't think even like we have spent, like Prashant and I had gone there for 5 days, and even after spending 5 days, I don't think we have been able to make sure that the true picture of the violence has come out. It's because that there was no access. Like on February 8th, the night when the violence broke out, there was a curfew imposed on the entire city, Haldwani. But as the days went by, like the curfew restrictions were relaxed for Haldwani city, but for Banbulpura area, the locality in which that mosque and the madrasa were raised.
With Haldwani, what seems to have happened also, crowd got really out of control and angry. It's true that they went on a rampage, attacked the police but you're antagonizing them in such a way, no? Like you're coming for the houses, you're coming for places that they go for worship or their schools, madrasas, without any notice, without any warning. You're just creating that situation.
DM ordering firing in a protest is a huge thing. Now nobody even is talking about police firing. When the protest is happening and when you order firing to stop that protest, whether it is violent or not, that used to be a huge thing. But now nobody is even talking about it.
It's basically a pattern, right? You attack Muslims enough that you attack them enough until someone responds, and then you use that response as a sort of excuse for state violence. I mean, you light the match for a riot and a riot happens, what do you expect will happen?
Bas, muft mein itna hi milega. For the full uncut podcast, subscribe to Newslaundry and pay to keep news free. The best way to listen to the Hafta and indeed all our podcasts is through the Newslaundry app. You can download the app by clicking on the links given in the show notes. So do download our app and get the best podcast experience. And also pay for news and support a new news media ecosystem that Newslaundry is trying to encourage, where we are accountable to you because we run on contributions that you make. We don't take government ads, we don't take corporations ads, so that news serves the public, because when the public pays, the public is served. Subscribe to Newslaundry, click on the link in the show notes below and proudly say, I pay to keep news free.